So today I'm going to be giving you my full review on the new Yves Saint Laurent Y Eau de Parfum. Here about a month or so ago, I did my first impressions on this one live on camera for you guys. And in that video, you would have saw that right off the bat, I really liked this one. I thought it was pretty solid, and it does have a nice different twist on the original Eau de Toilette and also the Eau de Parfum. So I've had plenty of time to fully test this one, to be able to wear it. I've been able to wear it outdoors in the springtime, so putting a little bit more of a warm weather on it, although some days it has been colder as well. And I've also been able to do a better job at analyzing performance, so I can give you the full rundown today. Just going to tell you how it smells, how it performs, when you can wear it, and ultimately, if I think this one is worth picking up. Now this one currently, at the time of me posting this video, is only available at retailers, Macy's, and so on. I will link it down below. Normally, when these do hit discounters, they aren't usually that discounted off of retail, and that really goes for a lot of Yves Saint Laurent fragrances. For example, some of the L'Homme, La Nuit de L'Hommes retail for like $88 or $90 or something like that, and discounters, it's going to be pretty close to that. So normally you don't save too much money when these do hit discounters, so it's one of those things where you can wait it out a little bit longer, or if you're super excited for this one, you can grab it at full retail and pay the $100 or whatever. You get some free samples and stuff as well, and that's really going to be your only option right now. Now when you first spray this one on, what you get right up top is a nice sweet green apple. You get a little bit of an aldehydes, airy, light feeling about this one. A little bit of ginger comes through, giving it a spiciness. Now what you'll find underneath all of that, because that's kind of the top layer, underneath all of that you get a nice sage, you get a nice clean lavender, and you also get a nice minty, fresh, and green geranium note. Now, that's kind of your mid there, and you'll find that that kind of is giving a nice boost to the top notes, the nice apple. The apples adds a little bit of a sweetness. You also get tonka bean and some woods in the base of this one. So immediately when you first spray it on, it's all about that sweet apple, a little bit of an herbal touch, and a nice clean lavender that does come through. So initially from that first spray, it smells a lot like the original, and it also smells a lot like the Eau de Parfum. You have that sweetness from the apple and the Eau de Parfum carrying over to the Parfum version here. However, the dry down of this one is where it starts to get pretty interesting and where it really starts to stand apart from everything else in the line. The lavender comes through even more. The sage also comes through even more. So I find that this one basically, once it's fully developed, has the sweetness that you get in the Eau de Parfum toned back, and you have a bit more of an herbalness pushed forward. And you also get a little bit of a patchouli in here, patchouli and geranium, giving it a green touch. You get the woods, cedar wood, giving it a nice masculine woody base. Tonka bean, just giving it a touch of a powdery sweetness, but not to the extent as the Eau de Parfum. For me, this is more like a more smooth, more well-rounded, and also a bit more of a grown-up, mature version of the Eau de Toilette and the Eau de Parfum. Those are pretty playful. Those are on the semi-sweet bubblegummy side for freshies, and this one kind of takes a bit of a different approach. So really the best way to describe it is the Eau de Parfum right here is going to be a bit more sweet, a bit more playful, and the Parfum right here is going to take that sweetness back, bring forward a bit more sage, a bit more of a clean, fresh lavender, and a bit more of a woody base as well. Now with that being said, this still has the Y DNA, and it still does allude back to those others, but it does have a nice take on it. This is something where if the Eau de Parfum and the Eau de Toilette's a bit too playful for you, you could give this one a try, and you might find that it is going to be more your style. Now versatility on this one is going to be basically the same as the others. It's a very versatile scent, one that you can wear all year round. I do think this one's going to be better for spring and fall because it does still have a bit more of a depth to it. It's not very citrus and aquatic forward like a summer fragrance would be. So spring and fall, wintertime as well, this one would be great for, but in a climate controlled environment, this thing can be worn all year round as a signature scent if you wanted it to. Very versatile. Performance on my skin is also pretty good. The Eau de Parfum is a beast mode fragrance both in projection and longevity. I find this one to be right around 8 hours longevity, and the projection on this one is toned back a little bit compared to the Eau de Parfum. Again, the EDP is a beast all the way around, and this one's a bit more moderate and a bit more reserved. One that still will push out, but it is one that's going to be a bit more refined. Compliment factor on this one is going to be fantastic. This type of DNA is very well rounded and it appeals to a lot of people. And I've talked about this before. The main reason why is because it has a nice balance of freshness and sweetness to work well for both. This kind of is one of those ones that's going to be more on the blue fragrance side. Even though the Parfum version here is less blue than the EDP, you still do get some of that, and there's a little bit of that blue fragrance type of vibe going on in here, although it is more mild. And so that type of thing naturally is going to work really well in the compliment department. This is one that you can wear out for any situation, and you're basically guaranteed to get some sort of positive feedback. Now, if you're solely after compliments, should you go for the Eau de Parfum or should you go for the EDP? I would say if you're a guy, maybe a bit younger, and you just want a compliment monster, go with the Eau de Parfum still. That is going to be your best bet for just pulling a ton of compliments and being very efficient at it, because it has great performance on top of that, like really good projection. If you're someone who's maybe a bit older, you're tired of the super bubblegummy sweet fragrances and very youthful, playful scents, and you want something that maybe follows that category a little bit, but also is a bit more refined, go with the Parfum. This will be a really nice middle ground. Like I've said before, I'm really impressed with how this one turned out, and I was excited for this one when it was launched. First of all, a Parfum a lot of times is going to be a really good flanker if they do it right. You know, they can have a lot of potential with that, and so I was excited. And also just looking at the bottle, all blacked out. The Y on the side is also blacked out. I mean, it looks sleek. These are my favorite types of bottles. It looks amazing, and this color profile here matches the change of the scent very well. The EDP has that blue gradient, kind of alluding to a bit of a blue fragrance, and this one has that all blacked out, just giving it something that's going to be maybe a bit more mysterious, a bit more perhaps high-end, a bit more luxurious, and has less of that bubblegummy sweetness, more of a focus on some notes that are a bit different and kind of provide something different, like those herbal notes, the green facets in this one. All around, I would say if you're a fan of the Yves Saint Laurent Y line and you want something that's going to be a bit more well-rounded, a bit more smooth, and a bit less playful, the Parfum is going to be a must-have. And if you're someone who doesn't like the EDP because it is too sweet and playful, the Parfum is going to be one you're going to want to consider. You might find yourself really liking this one, and you might be surprised when you try it and realize that this is actually a really, really nice fragrance. And I do like when brands do this, where they take the scent and they really do improve upon it like this with the true flanker. It's still keeping that original DNA, just adding a nice different twist on it. Overall, I would recommend this one to a lot of you guys out there. At least sample it. If not, just go into a blind buy if you know that you're into this type of scent. Very versatile, a good performer, and a great compliment getter. What's not to love about this? And as it stands right now for me, I'm probably going to be wearing this Eau de Parfum more than the Eau de Parfum. I just like the herbal notes brought forward. I like the sweetness toned back. Really, it strikes a nice balance here. If you guys have tried Eau de Parfum, let me know what you think down below. That's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.